Hey, so 1976 was a long time ago, and in the meantime, record albums fell out of favor, CDs started getting made for decades, and finally albums are coming back, CDs falling out of favors. But some projects along the way were just completely forgotten. And music contracts ran out, and some things didn't have the permission to be made or redone in a different format, so they were completely forgotten. Now, it's not often these days that I run into something that blows my mind and is something that I've never heard about at all and is a really cool project. But today was one of those days. I was at a thrift store and there was an album sitting there that I didn't know what it was. I thought it might be 1940s, classic 1940s music. This is the cover of it. All this and World War II. That's all there is there. So I picked it up just to sort of look at it, figure it out. And on the back, lo and behold, it turns out this was a project in 1976. It was a sort of film musical project. It was made visually of pieces of World War II film, famous moments, etc., but all put to Beatles music. And not just that. That would have been pretty cool, but it turns out that there's 2 albums here, 4 sides of music, and all of the Beatles songs are done by other famous people. Now I'm going to put this up here and just, if you can, take a look at that. Now I'm going to read some of these. I mean, you have all the Beatles songs. You have Magical Mystery Tour, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, I Am the Walrus, Sun King, Hey Jude, and some of the most amazing artists of the time on here. Ambrosia, Elton John, the Bee Gees, and interestingly, the Bee Gees show up twice on here, and this is before, like 2 years before, they do their version of Sgt. Pepper's and the Lonely Hearts Club Band. And that's been like a question in my mind for years and years and years. Why did the Bee Gees get the gig to do the late 70s movie adaptation of Sgt. Pepper's? It started here 2 years earlier. They showed up here. They were involved in this. So they're on here. Brian Ferry is on here. Ron Wood and Jeff Lynne, but not ELO. The 2 parts of ELO. Really crazy. Roy Wood and Jeff Lynne. You have the 4 Seasons going back old school. Frankie Lane, Roy Wood again, Status Quo, Leo Sayer, Peter Gabriel, Frankie Valli, Tina Turner. Tina Turner does Come Together, which is an amazing version. And it's really weird. I mean, like, I'm looking at it now, just sort of like, what is this? And I listened to this today for the first time, and you can just hear in it, there's a similarity in most of the songs. There's some orchestration, there's a continuity to it. I mean, they sort of throw their own flair on it, and definitely with the voices, they do their own thing. But there's a continuity. So these songs were commissioned specifically for this project. It's really fascinating, and a lot of these songs don't show up ever again. Like, they just disappear off the map. And like, if you're into, your favorite band or, amazing bands doing one-offs, tributes, various things, you'll be interested in this because it is unlikely and very strange, and yet it exists. And I just had to show you. And look at this. You pull it out. There's this amazing gatefold and a booklet. And I did some reading, and like every page is like the different artist, all the different artists. They get their own sort of spotlight for this. They all thought this thing was going to be a blowout. They thought this was going to be a huge step in their career. And I did some reading, and this movie flopped like few movies flop. Like nobody understood it, they didn't get it. But the soundtrack's amazing. So you can't find this. You can't find it on Spotify. You can't find it anywhere. They're like bits and pieces. I found like a whole thing on YouTube, but it's like mixed in with commercials and stuff, and it's pretty irritating. But that's about as close as you're gonna get. So like if you're interested in all this, like I would have been had I known, go onto eBay or something and just buy one. They're there, they are there. And you know, they're pretty cheap. It's not like a rare collectible, but it's just you don't know it. And it's just amazing to me these days because I listen to music all the time and I love collecting all this kind of stuff. This is the first time I've heard of this. I can't believe it ever slipped by my radar. Check it out if you're interested in this. Pretty cool. And I got this, by the way, at a thrift store for 99 cents. So a really cool trip back in time, 1976, the bicentennial, 1 year before Star Wars, 2 years before the Bee Gees, Sgt. Pepper's movie and album flop. Crazy bit of music history. I mean, you just wonder what was going on behind the scenes with all this. It's a massive production that lost tons of money, I'm sure. But very cool. Check it out. All right. Good night.